Hi guys, this video is a tutorial of the 3 standing poses Warrior 1, Warrior 2 and Crescent Warrior. These 3 standing poses are a good way to understand how basing works in BJJ. So check it out. We start with Warrior 1, which is quite technical actually. I will show it in 2 different angles. So first of all, put your feet hip width apart. So from your sitting bones down to your heels there should be a straight line. So not too wide and not feet together, hip width apart. And from here, step the right foot back and angle it 45 degrees. So your right toes point to the corner of the room. And what we want in Warrior 1 is, number 1, squaring the hips. Which means that your right hip moves forward and you pull your left hip back. So just as if you were standing straight up, looking forward, but the toes point out to the side. If this is impossible for you, move the right foot a little bit out to the side and widen your base. But move your right hip forward, pull your left hip back. This is number 1. Step number 2 is to not let the knees sag. We want to lift the inside of our legs, the inside of our right foot, the arch of our right foot, and ground the outside of the right foot down into the ground. When you do these 2 things simultaneously at the same time, it will create tension in the front of your right hip flexor and your quad. And this is one of the nice things about Warrior 1, is that if you stand with the upper body straight above your hips, activate the inside of your leg, your right leg, and at the same time as you square of your hips, move the left knee on top of the left ankle, you have good base and you're getting a nice stretching effect on the front of your right hip. So this is the base. From here, when you find this nice base without letting the knees sag and without collapsing in the hips or in legs, we can do many variations from here to test our base. But this is Warrior 1 with your lower body. The upper body, pull the belly in so you're not arching your lower back. You're pulling everything back in space. Your arms go up, your shoulders lower, and from here, to really activate the legs, try to pull the legs towards each other so you create tension in both the right and left leg at the same time. If you can touch your hands without lifting your shoulders, you can do that, but try to stay here square, maybe lift your gaze. This is the full expression of Warrior 1. For intermediate, you can pull your elbows closer to each other to create a more intense feeling in your arms. But this is Warrior 1. I'll show it from the front too. So right foot forward, feet and hip width apart, step your left foot back, and the longer you step your left foot back, the more intense and more technical the pose will be. So start off closer, and then as you get used to Warrior 1, step the foot longer and longer back. But left hip forward, pull the belly in and lift the inside of your left leg while at the same time bending into your right leg. Arms go up, shoulders go down, solar plexus go inside and up. And to make it a yoga pose, breathe nice and softly. So that's Warrior 1. Now, Warrior 2, different. Open hips and feet on one line. So you can use one line, for example, the side of a yoga mat or just any straight line. Place your right foot on the line and place the middle of your left foot on the same line. Now your hips will open up to the left, but what will happen here for most of us is that the right knee wants to follow, which means that our toes point forward on the right foot, but the knee collapses to the left. So the simultaneous action here is to pull both knees backwards to open the hips. So this can be challenging, but this is the challenge of Warrior 2. Put the knee over the ankle, straight on top of the ankle, and lift the inside of our leg here too. But instead of creating this opening on the front of our thigh like in Warrior 1, now we're trying to open the hips and lower down without collapsing forward. So right leg is strong, left leg is strong, but you can see my hips want naturally to stay like this in an angle, but I want to put my torso straight above my belly. So no collapsing forward, try to stay straight. Pull the legs towards each other, and when you do this action, pulling the feet closer to each other, then you can lower down more. If you don't do this action, if you press away and go down, you will collapse into the hip and probably feel pain after you stay here for a while. So pull the feet together, pull yourself together, chest over hips, active on the inside, lifting the arch on the back foot, and just add the arms. So you should be able to see your right big toe on the inside of the knee to make sure you're not collapsing into the left side. So lower shoulders, look over your fingertips on the right hand. You can gaze back on the left hand to make sure it doesn't point any other direction, but try to find straight lines here. See how deep you can go without putting any pressure into the knee or any other part of the body. Try to even out the work in both feet, in both legs. This is how it looks from the front. Right foot back, left foot forward. Lifting, pointing the left knee straight forward. Look at your left big toe to make sure it's in line with the knee. Add the arms. And we tend to do this when we look forward, like a vulture. Try to stay with the head straight, with the crown of your head straight over the spine, and just turn your head without any tension in your neck. Pull the feet together and lower down. And in a flow class, when we do this, we usually do lots of variations from here. We do reverse warrior, we do side angle, we can bind under, we can go into standing balances, which I will show in another video. But you always want to keep this deep and firm connection with your feet and legs. It doesn't matter how you move your arms here, your lower body should try to be just as it is, straight and firm and in control. So we have done Warrior 1, we have looked at Warrior 2, now let's do Crescent Warrior, which is very similar to Warrior 1, but there's more stuff we can do from there, it's more dynamic. So same thing again, hip width apart with the feet, step your left foot back, but now point the heel straight up and square off your hips just like in Warrior 1. Pull the left hip back, right hip forward. And to make this bearable for those of you that have super tight hip flexors, bend the back knee. So you can have even a 90-degree angle in the knee, but try to place your torso over your hips. And don't contract your butt muscles, your glutes here. Try to be firm, but don't squeeze everything together too hard here. Try to be relaxed. Hands can be in front of your chest, lower your shoulders. And this is something I see a lot of people do this, the heel is just barely touching the floor. What we want is a stretch for our soles, the soles of our feet too. So you can step back a few centimeters extra and try to get the heel over the toes. And stay here, sucking the belly a bit in, being firm in the upper body but still relaxed so you can breathe. We have tons of variations to do from here, circling the arms, twisting, going down to side plank, into standing balances. But try to find a stable Crescent Warrior where you can lift the toes of your front foot and find all the corners of your foot, knee over ankle, square hips. Don't lean too much forward, try to stay above your hips. heel over toes. You can try this variation, interlacing your fingers, opening your chest and breathing here. Straightening the leg, lowering down, maybe bending the knee, but trying to make the stretch go all the way from the knee up into your above your hips, stretching the toes and the soles of your feet. Try to place the knee over the ankle. If you're here, it's not too much work. Try to be as low as you can without opening the hips. So this was a basic tutorial on 3 standing poses that we use a lot in a flow class. And when you get comfortable with these ones, it will feel nice to do all the crazy and difficult stuff with handstands and stuff like this. And every time you come into Warrior 1, Warrior 2 or Crescent, you can take a deep breath and just ease into the position and get back to your breath. So practice these details, and you can put what you call it, a rule for yourself. Every time you practice yoga, try to remember and learn one detail. So from all the stuff I just threw out there in this video, try to take one of them and learn them in one practice. So if you practice Monday, you learn one thing Monday. And if you do this consistently, you will never stop. It's one step at a time, but try to really focus on one detail and learn it, and then go to the next one, and you will have a great experience with your yoga flows. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video, or see you on the mat. Or in the Nogi Europeans, I just registered, so see you there.